friends, it's Ellen here at Yarn Doc, and if you have been following me on my little journey through yarn stores, you know that I was recently on a trip to Aachen, Germany, and Aachen is a city that is on the border of Germany, the Netherlands, and Belgium. And so today I'm going to take you with me to the Netherlands. This yarn store is like 15 minutes across the German border into the Netherlands. It's a very small little shop that I think she said she'd been there about 40 years. It was started by her mother, and then she took it over. It's a owner-operated little store. The sound did not work on this video, so I'm just going to show you some clips. I'm going to put a little music on with it. You can dance and look at the yarn if you want. I don't know. But I will do that, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you a little bit more about the store and her philosophy and how she curates her collection. And yeah, and I'll show you what I bought. I just made a small purchase, but I did make a purchase while I was there. How can I go to a yarn store and not? If you're getting to know me, then you know that I like to try stuff. Though I have started really trying to buy things with a purpose in mind. One, so that I have enough yarn to make what I want to make with it. So, without further ado, let's take a look. It's called Bolke. I think I said that right. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, apologies. But I will also put the name of the store in the description. There is no website. There's no online shopping for this. So if you want the experience of this store, you have to go to this quaint little village in the Netherlands. So let's take a look. So here we are at Bolke, I think, but we're going to clarify that when we go in Heerlen, the Netherlands. more of the lotus yogurt. Oh, this is the super soft in this gorgeous sort of It's adorable, isn't it? She has lots of lovely big name brands, particularly specializing in Lang. But she also has Noro, which she says is her favorite. She was about to get a big shipment in next week. I have a visitor. What, honey?
What are you doing?
I'm making a video with talking to my yarn friends. You want to say hi?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. You get a hand. Yeah. You gonna go back to bed now?
Some orange capsule.
Okay, Papa's in the kitchen. He'll help you. Mom life. So, back. Sometimes you have to stop and be a mother. It's just how it is. So, yeah, she was saying that Noro is her favorite and that she was getting a large shipment next week. She also loves Juniper Moon, which I did show you the few skeins that she had there. And she says she orders massive amounts of it and it just flies out the door. But you might have been wondering, okay, what pulls this collection together? What pulls Lotus Yarns and Noro and Lang? And now the next one is here.
Hello.
Hello. You know what they're saying? They're saying, go back to bed. Yeah.
They're dead.
Yes, they are. They're saying it's yarn chatting time. It's time for you to be in bed.
Pretty.
Okay, go to bed. Okay, well, go knock on the door and tell Papa you want a Capri Sun. Yeah, hi, I'm back again. As soon as I click record on something, everybody is thirsty. Everybody needs something. I swear everybody is usually in bed and I try to make sure they're asleep before I start, but there's something magic about the record button that just says, wake up and need mommy. They're just like, it's video magic. It's video magic. So anyway, you're probably wondering what brings Lang and Noro and Lotus and can you hear them bouncing and playing? I can go put my kids back to bed and come back and finally explain what brings this collection together. Okay, the children all have drinks. They're all back in bed. Let's go back to the Netherlands. So I asked her, what is special about your store? And she says she only carries fair trade products. Products that are concerned about the treatment of animals that are involved in the process, products that have an ecological preservationist, low environmental impact. And so this is the collection. She carries a lot of Lang, just about everything, including the new Nomad, which I was sorely tempted to pick up because that stuff is so lusciously soft. Way to go, Lang. But it is a forerunner in this sort of area when it comes to yarn. It has a long family tradition of producing yarn, and this was also something that was quite important to her. She's very dedicated to the craft of knitting. She wasn't such a big fan when I said I mostly crochet, and strongly encouraged me to from the cast of knitting. What I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about taking me into the knitting course on Craftsy. this quaint little village in the Netherlands, where people were actually lovely and friendly. I was trying to take pictures at the front, and a lovely old gentleman was coming down the street, and I intended to stop for him, and he's like, no, please, no, go ahead. I'll wait. It's like, oh, it's friendly. Very nice. So it's a nice environment, and it's a very picturesque little town. So what did I buy? I didn't show you the yarn that I got. So something that I have been wanting to try for a while. She did give me this lovely pad, which has her store information on there. And as I said, I'll put it in the description box. The information underneath this video. But it's a paper bag and it's crinkly, so I'm going to put it down. So something I have been wanting to try for a long time now, and I had been eyeing the Handmaiden version, that Canadian yarn company. But that's like $54 Canadian dollars per hank. And this wasn't. I paid 20 euros for 4 skeins. And this is the Lang Oceana. I also considered the Lang Ananas, or pineapple, that is made from the leaves of pineapple and turned into yarn. That's pretty interesting, but I'm actually allergic to pineapple, and I just didn't know if I would be able to work with it or have it against my skin or that. So I decided to go with the Oceana, and this contains sea cell, which is made from seaweed, which I have been wanting to try forever. Ever since I heard that they were making yarn out of seaweed, I was like, I need to get my hands on that. In high school in Toronto, we had I had a couple of friends that were from the Maritimes, and they would bring in like sheets of seaweed to snack on. And they said, you know, back home in the Maritimes, they would sort of make their own. They would get it and dry it on rocks, and for a couple of years, this was like the thing. We would snack on seaweed. So when I heard they were making yarn out of it, I was like, I need to try this. So I got 2 colors. It does come in a wide variety of colors. She was sold out of several, and some of the others I just didn't think would suit me, or didn't go with the green, which I loved. But I thought those 2 go lovely together. And I could work something up. So I got 2 of each. Woo, don't go rolling away. So I have 4 donuts total. And so this is 70% cotton and 30% viscose, which is the sea cell. So the viscose is made from the seaweed. So they're 50 gram skeins for 140 meters each. And it's super soft. Like, it's really, it does almost have the texture of cotton, but like a luscious cotton, not a kitchen cotton. Definitely not a kitchen cotton. This is definitely a wearable kind of cotton. It would make a lovely summer top or shawl or that, because of the breathability of cotton and yeah, just the wonderful features of that. I can't really tell you the properties of Cecil. I'm gonna learn about them. I will do a full review of this yarn, just because I'm curious and I really want to know about it. I know that it is becoming more and more popular to use sea cell in yarn, and that several brands are now carrying a line that contains sea cell, though they still tend to be on the more expensive end of yarn. But I thought €5, that's the best price I have seen on a product that contains sea cell. I really did want to purchase Lang from this shop, considering what her focus was and particular affinity to Lang. And I just thought the Oceana was the perfect thing to try. As I said, I was also very, very attracted to the brand new yarn from Lang, the Nomad, which is chain spun, and I don't even remember what's in it. If I remember, I'll find it and put it up on the screen. And I think that was going for about €8 a ball. But I just decided, no, I'm gonna stick to the Oceana. I'm gonna finally play with some Cecil. It's really soft. Well, you know me, I can't hold yarn and not play with it, but I'm petting it. I'm getting my hands all over it. I'm just really, really interested in it. Well, I just checked to make sure my lot numbers are the same, and they are. Why do I not think about it until I'm home? But I don't. So, I don't know if the color has an actual name. It does have a number, but it's like really, really long. I have a feeling that the number part of the color is really just the 92, and that the brown is 168. Where I was, this was the only green and this was the only brown. I'm not sure if that's true of the line, but this is a beautiful sage green, and this is a nice sort of milk chocolate brown. So I thought they would really complement each other, and I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna do it, but I definitely got myself enough meterage to do something. I don't know, probably something wearable, do some samples. I will do like a full review, which does mean, yes, washer and dryer. And I'm certain it says not to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what I do. This is my problem with donuts, is like so much of the valuable information is in here, and I don't really want to take my label off. Oh, there. Okay. Teeny tiny. Yeah. It's what we see on most yarns these days. Wash it under 30. Don't bleach it. Don't dry it. You can iron it. Lie it flat to dry. I'll do some samples, and I just want to know. I want to know what happens to seaweed yarn when you put it in water and then in a hot dryer. I don't know, because I'm like that. Well, especially I like to have the information before I work on something, because I do like to know just how careful and fussy I need to be with things, especially with so many people in the house. As you have seen in trying to make this sort of wrap up part of the video, is just like a steady stream of traffic. And some members of my household are actually very helpful, but that means some things get in the dryer that shouldn't get in the dryer. And so I just want to know, usually if it can't go in the dryer, I will make sure that those things get washed when nobody else is home, and that I am there to transfer it, or I don't even put it in the laundry baskets. Anyway, you don't need to know all that stuff. I don't need to tell you all the inner workings of my household chores. But all that to say, I like to just have the information, and I like to share the information because you're making yarn decisions all the time, and there are so many options. But I'm really just very curious about Cecil. It feels like it feels really nice. It feels really nice. So I'm looking forward to working with it. Anyway, that was my trip to Bolke in the Netherlands, and I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you'll join me for my next yarn shopping adventure, wherever in the world that may be. So if you want to come with, hit subscribe and the notifications so that you won't miss any trips anywhere, wherever we're going. And most of the places I go now, I look for yarn stores and bring you with me. So do that, and I will see you next time.